Now, we would be beginning the part 2 explanation from here onwards. This is the third fundamental right. This is the right against exploitation. It prohibits all forms of forced labor as well as human trafficking. If there is any person who is not willing to do any kind of work, then that person has this right that that person can apply or appeal for the right against exploitation. Also, states requires citizens' services in the natural calamities such as floods, sometimes there is a forest fire, or sometime when there is any earthquake, any hurricane, or any mishappening which occurs due to the natural calamities, then at that point of time, it is the responsibility of the government and the state government to protect the human for safety and to safeguard all their needs. So, this is a right against exploitation. And the second point which comes under this right is the employment of children below the age of 14 years is banned to work in any factory or mine or any occupation which is dangerous for that person, or you can say which is hazardous. So, this is also the right against exploitation, because children should not do any work, they should concentrate on the studies. So, that is the reason the employment for children who are below age 14, they are not allowed to work at any place. The reason, as we all know, that this is the age for the development of the mind. That is the reason. Now, this point also comes under the right against exploitation. This point says the traffic in human beings. It means sale and purchase of human beings, just similar as goods and commodities, for any immoral purpose such as slavery or prostitution, because as a human it is not acceptable. So, that is the reason trafficking in human being, this also comes under this right. Now, this is the fourth fundamental right. This right says that we all have right to freedom of religion. As we all know that India is a multi-religious state. There are Hindus, there are Muslims, there are Sikhs, there are Christians and many other residing in our country also. And our constitution guarantees to every person's freedom of conscience and the right to practice and propagate any religion. So, the person can follow any religion as per their family tradition. And this right to freedom of religion is also not absolute. It can also be restricted on the grounds of public order, morality, and health. The state shall not impose any restrictions arbitrarily. So, that is the reason we have this right to freedom of religion. During some different conditions, the restrictions can be imposed for the safety of the public. Our Indian Constitution lays down that no religious education can be imparted in any educational institution which is wholly maintained out of the state funds. Because the main aim of education is to educate the child. So, in those institutions, no child can be compelled to receive any religious instructions against his or her wishes. For example, if I am a Hindu person and if I am forced to follow some other religion, so that is not allowed. For the knowledge purpose, we definitely can read and follow the traditions, values, but not forcefully. The fifth fundamental right says that we all have cultural and educational rights. We all know that India is a vast country with diversity of culture, script, and languages. And we all people take pride in our own language and different cultures. And our own constitution provides the necessary guarantee to preserve, maintain, and promote their culture and language. The Constitution allows minorities to establish and maintains educational institutions of their own. It also provides that the state shall not discriminate against any other educational institute. If there is any educational institute where any student of other religion gets admitted, then if any poor, rich or any person is admitted, then that person cannot be denied because of the reason of having a different background. It is not allowed. So, this right protects all human beings. Now, this is the sixth fundamental right. This is right to constitutional remedies. Part 3 of our Constitution provides for the legal remedies for the protection of fundamental rights. And citizens of India can move to any senior court or higher court like Supreme Court or High Court for the enforcement of these rights. It is possible, and the court can issue and also the court can order writs to them. Now, this is a new term, habeas corpus. This word is a Latin word. Let us now understand the meaning of this word. It explains that it is an order by the court to the state to produce the person physically before it justify the confinement or release of the person. And the person needs to be produced before the judge within the 24 hours of time. For example, if a person is caught at 2 p.m., then before the 24-hour gets over, the person needs to be produced before the judge along with all the details, and the judge will take the decision to continue to be in the jail or to release the person. So, this also for the protection. Now, this is another word. It is mandamus. This word again comes from the Latin language. This also explains that it is a command, or you can say it is an order from the superior court to a subordinate court, or you can say a tribunal or public authority to perform its duty in case it is not doing it. Let us understand it by 4-layer court system. There is the Supreme Court, High Court, State Court or Zilla Court. So, these levels we need to understand, and the higher level court can give order to the lower level court in case of emergency or in case of need. If a person or the court is not able to do the work on time or according to the law, then the senior level court can give order to the lower level court. And this word is the third new word. This word is prohibition. Prohibition, as we have already covered, it also explains that it means to forbid. To forbid means to deny. It is also an order issued by the court to forbid a subordinate court or a tribunal from proceedings with a case which is beyond its jurisdiction. So, the court can give order to the other department people to continue the case whenever one department is not able to handle the case appropriately, or that case does not come under the jurisdiction of that person. Now, this word is quo warranto. This is also a writ which is issued to restrain a person from acting in a public office to which she or he is not entitled. So, this is also the order which is given by the court, so that person should not do any act which is against the law, and the person has to accept that order. And this fourth new word is certiorari. The term certiorari means to be informed of what is going on. It is an order to a lower court from a superior court to transfer the matter to it or to any other court for further deciding the matter, so that the lower court would keep the higher court informed about all the updates which are being done in any case. As we all know that Supreme Court is the topmost senior court. So, Supreme Court can give order to the lower court for having all the information and the update. And this is the most important person we should be aware of when we talk about the Constitution. His name is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and he is rightly called as, or we can say known as, he has written all the acts and the articles, and he is rightly called as the writs, as the soul of the part 3 of the Constitution. Thank you. Namaskar.